Yo, what's up humans and bots alike? I am Ghangasrath and welcome to Scrolling Through the Floasis archives. Now, if you're not privy to the series, definitely check out the intro and the eye icon, and that way you'll be able to download these for yourself. Now, to get into it, the thread I'll be covering this episode is A Theory on Liquid started by SiFi. This is the thread right here. Main point is right here. Quoting him, "My point is that the impact of the liquid illusion comes from the movement of the arms, drawing a contrast to the rest of the body." Also think botting is a really good foundation to have for liquid. Lots of core and stationary movements. Rush has a good botting foundation in my opinion. He's got a much more complete dance than what I've seen from almost all new school liquid dancers. So you get into that conversation about difference in complexity, the stillness of a dance. For a dance to be called that, you gotta be moving around, right? You gotta take up space. And they notice that sometimes, especially the new school liquid dancers at around this time, they forgot who mentioned it, somewhere mentioned that it's almost as if they're going from one still to the next still to the next still, and then they'll do like intricate tech stuff at each moment. So that's, you have that discussion with complexity. And then you also have the question of foundation. And after reading up about foundations, I really wanted to find a good link for you guys to like kind of cement in the mindset of what a foundation is, what it means to have them around. But there's no good one that I could find right now, so that's gonna have to be its own scrolling through. So like, you got guys like Kai who are saying stuff like they make look good with liquid, but they're not associated with the foundations of liquid, just like house dancing, jazz, and ballroom styles aren't. Boogaloo tutting, pop-in angles, moves from lock-in, etc. can all look good with liquid. That doesn't make them part of the foundations. And that's a big thing. In fact, I don't have the thread up, but on the GL, that's why I didn't want to pull it up, because it's on the GL. About a month ago or so, maybe a week, Vex put up this thread asking like how important are the basics, and what he didn't say what you consider the basics to be, but I think it was more so like how do you differentiate stuff with them, and like are you practicing your basics on the daily. In that thread it brought up the question of what does it mean to have basics in gloving. So the foundations in liquid dance are very, it's very like just there, but there's no footwork in the foundations. You'll see that like, okay, so I didn't want to give you guys like multiple links that I've already shown you in the other Scrolling Through Floasis series videos. So I'm just gonna say that the Liquid Pop Collective, Digits, and Liquid tutorials, those are set in stone, polished foundation videos. And then you got the famous Liquid Pop Eric video at the arcade, and those two together is kind of what made this new school liquid dancers movement, in my opinion. So that's pretty set in stone. And then you got guys that came before them, and they are teaching and they're sharing about the different styles of liquid, and therefore you have even more foundations of liquid set in stone. So when you go to the basics of gloving, you got the finger roll. That's about it. That's the basicest. That's like an atom of gloving. because it's like the mostest basicest finger roll. This one, even though technically it's like partially a wave because I'm not doing the, you know, all like the entire. If I was doing the entirety like this, then this would be a legit finger roll, just, you know, on the bottom with a different illusion based in it. But getting back on track, in here they talk about, I believe it was birdage. It's usually, yeah, it was birdage. He mentions that he has his own, like, he has his own foundation for his footwork. So that's an interesting thing to think about, because in that Vex thread, like, you know, I mentioned the question, is it possible to have basics for different topics? And, you know, I got shut down, of course. They're saying that those are obviously advanced. So you got the basics, which is just a finger roll, and then after that you have an advanced concept or conceptual style, and then you can break that down into like sub-concepts and movements. And that's where footwork is in Liquid. And that's specifically this birdage guy and how he mentioned it, which I thought was really smart, really interesting way to think about it. Okay, so I have some videos here to share with you guys. So this is Tiny One Love, Liquid, and Waving. This is a great example of liquid foundations meeting waving. So waving and liquid are separate, but you know, you can group them together. You can hybrid any dance together, right? And this is liquid and waving, two that are very similar. So this is Liquid Rush. This video is pretty dope, and this guy is the one who was mentioned in the top, and he also has some really nice thoughts about it, like how he feels that animation and different popping styles like waving and snaking would be really nicely incorporated with Liquid Dance. And then you got Storyboard P. This is just pure footwork because of something Tiny said in the bottom here, right here. This part right here is why I got the Storyboard P video. Let's put this two hands away, and can you dance liquid with your arms, with your legs only? That's how we get to the Storyboard P video. And the second video from Mr. Wiggles. Definitely also check out his Egyptian twist and all his style videos. Mr. Wiggles is like, I love his videos. He's good. He's a good example of boogaloo into popping. So if you're interested in that that hybrid of styles and bringing that in, then I would definitely encourage you to bring that into the realm of gloving as well, because I feel like as a glover, not too much people bring in as much as they can. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes people have a background and then they'll drop that and they'll do gloving. But don't be afraid to bring that into your gloving. Okay, so if you got some, you know, definitely hit me up if you got something that you think I can scroll through. Specifically, since in this video I don't have a nice link for what it means to have a foundation or a fundamental, definitely hit me up with a link to one of those if you got one. And that was Scrolling Through a theory on liquid from SiFi. And definitely be sure to like this video, hit subscribe to see when the newest ones come out. Thanks for watching, keep chill, and shoot.